Love is Love Macaw Pride Gel Nail Art Tutorial by Hotpinkzebrapolish. Hi everybody, in today's video I have a design that I absolutely love, and this is what I call Macaw Love or Love is Love, represented by birds, whatever you want to think of it as. It is a design for Pride Month, and I decided to represent the rainbow flag with birds, macaws, instead of just, you know, the classic rainbow designs that you've seen everybody else do. But I did include a little bit of that and a feather that was the pride flag, as well as the phrase love is love, which has always been one of my favorites. I absolutely love this, and I'm using the Glam Made in Color collection, which if you guys have never seen it before, whoo, it is so sparkly. As soon as I saw some of the colors, especially the purple one, I almost fainted. I swooned. They're so pretty. I hope you guys like this as much as I do, and don't forget to click subscribe so you'll get my future videos as well. So I'm going to begin with a soft green background for behind the macaws. So I'm doing one coat of the Glam color Green Garden, which has been in my collection forever, and then apply a layer of their art gel, and then before curing, I'm going to use the color Pistachio, Grassy, Sassy, and Roarrr. So that first one is going to be the Grassy Sassy, which is a really pretty pastel-y bright green. Or the first one was Pistachio, then Grassy, Sassy, etc. So that Roarrr is that green sparkly color that's part of this new collection. And then I just used a brush to kind of blend those out. After they're cured, I'm going to be creating the branch for my macaws with Roarrr. And now with Perfect White, I'm going to be creating just a blank space for where my macaws will be. So there's the first one. So this is just basically outlining their placement so that the colors show up really true to what they are, instead of having some of that green background kind of pop in through them. So just start with that, and then after you have that done, I'm going to take Perfect Black Gel Polish, which is one of my favorite black gel polishes I've ever used, and I'm going to just take and create some very basic outlines for my birds. You don't have to go through and do every single detail that you want in the end or anything crazy like that. This is just to sort of give you some frame of reference, so when you start filling them in with color, you know where each color is going a little more exactly. So they've got the little wings, and then they've got their tail feathers, and then on their face they have an area of skin around their eye, and then their beak to outline. And you can go through and do a little bit of feather outlining like I did. That will help you with some of the color placement, and these black lines will slightly show through. We're only going to do one coat of the colors, and with that you can kind of spread them on really thinly so that a little bit of that black is going to show. So the first color I'm using is Burlesque, which is the sparkly red, and I am so excited for Christmas, which I know is so far away from now, at least it seems that way, because this is a gorgeous red that will be amazing for Christmas, especially paired with the green shimmery color Roarrr. I'm just thinking to myself, oh, I can't wait, because I hope I get to see my clients then. Wouldn't that be awful? But I'm just so excited because I know that it'll be such a popular combo. But now I'm going to be using all the other colors, so it's an orange, a yellow, and a blue that I haven't used yet, except for the purple, but I'm going to use the orange, the yellow, and the blue to fill in their wings. And before you cure, so fill in with those three colors, and then take the tip of your brush and just drag it up to slightly marble those three colors together. And now I'm going to take and the color Call of the Wild, which is a gray, I'm going to fill in the area around their eyes and their beaks. So just fill that in, and if, depending on the position of your birds in your design, if you recreate this and it's not identical to mine, if you can see their feet, fill in their feet with that same color. And then highlight their eye areas and their beak with Perfect White, blend it out a little bit, add some shading with Perfect Black, and then detail it and cure it. And throughout this entire design, go ahead and flash cure whenever you feel it is needed or necessary. I like to, basically, the rule of thumb for me is whenever I switch colors, I flash cure. And then when I'm done with the design, I do a final cure, like a hard cure. But until then, I just do a quick 10 seconds or 15 seconds just to kind of get it set up before I switch colors. Add in their eyes, and then if you want, this is up to you, since some of those black lines do show through, you can go back through and add some more details with Perfect Black, and kind of make it look a little bit more finished. Or if you want it to have kind of a watercolor abstract kind of look, leave it as it is right like this, and that would be a-okay. The other thing you can do, which I'm doing right now, is taking some more of that Perfect White, and I'm going to be highlighting some of the wing feathers just to make them look a little bit distinct from each other. So now I'm going through with some of that Perfect Black and adding some shading on my birdies. So a little bit up between their wings so that it doesn't look like one solid wing on their back, but two separate wings. And that's a little bit between the two birds so that you can more easily tell them apart. So now on the ring, pinky, and thumb, I'm going to be applying 2 coats of the color Purity, which is from Say Yes to the New Madame Glam Say Yes to the New collection. If you don't have this one in your collection, I would highly recommend sticking it on your wish list because it is so beneficial and so useful in so many different ways. So now on the ring and the pinky nail, I'm going to be writing the phrase "Love is love" across it. And if you guys love that phrase as much as I do, a couple years ago I did a different "Love is love" design that was thermal. And what I did is I wrote the "Love is love" across the nail, and then I put a rainbow of thermal powders on top of it, so that when the nail was cool, you could just see the rainbow flag, and then when the nail was warmed up, that became clear and you could see through it and you could read it, which was such a cool little reveal type design. So it's going back to this design. I've got that black paint, and I'm just going to be doing the lettering on here. And as always, whenever I do lettering, I like to use a different font for each word because I think it gives the design a little bit more interest. So for the first love, I created almost a 60s style bubble letter, and then in the middle, a typewriter type serif font, and then on the bottom, a really sweet cursive. So I'm going to clean up those bubble letters with the perfect white, just because my black lines were a little too thick, and as you can see on my V and my E, I decided to lengthen my letters so that they matched up with the ring nail a little bit better, because then when I stuck them together, they didn't quite line up as well as I hoped they would. So I just fixed those a little bit, but we can fix all of that and nobody'd ever know that everything was touched up underneath with a clean slate coat of perfect white. And then after you have all of that white placed, make sure that you do a full cure. So for Madame Glam's and an LED lamp, it's 30 seconds, which really isn't much different from the flash cure timing. But then I'm going to fill in the colors with a gradient of the whole entire Made in Color collection. So I'm going to start with Burlesque, which is the red, and fill in the E, and then move on to the rest, or in the L, not E. Maybe I need to go back to kindergarten. But then go in with some of the orange on the L and the O, then a little bit of yellow in the O, and just a touch of green along the one side. So when you're doing this, you have to kind of plan out where the colors are going to be so that you use all of them. Since there are 8 letters, it's not as simple. There's 4 letters and 6 colors. I really need to go back to kindergarten. Oh my goodness. It's not just an easy 2 colors per letter, or whatever the mathematic equation would be. So you have to do 3 colors on 2 letters and 2 colors on 2 to get them to blend out. But it works. So finishing off the E with the purple. Really pretty. And these colors, because of the way that they're kind of almost a jelly in the background with the glitter flecks, they make a really easy, simple gradient. So even if you're somebody that kind of steers away from gradients because you think that they're hard to get smooth, this collection, and you'll see because I do a nail that's just a gradient of all of them together, is very easy to work with in that respect. So now I'm going to take and make a feather on the thumbnail. So I just, with black paint, I went through and created my simple little outlines for my feather, and then I'm going to do the gradient down the feather. Actually, I didn't do a gradient on the feather. I did more of sections, so I didn't blend the colors, which I couldn't decide throughout this whole design if I wanted to do it more like stripes or more like sections, and so I did a little bit of both. But then with Perfect Black, I'm going to be touching up some of those outlines and adding a more intense vein down the center of the feather. And then on the index, I'm going to create that gradient like I mentioned. So again, starting with red, then adding a streak of the orange across. These don't have to be perfectly straight lines by any means. As you can see, I'm going straight from the bottle with the brush that's included. If you wanted to do like a perfect straight line going down, you would probably want to switch to a little detail brush. But then using a gradient brush, just swipe back and forth across the color to blend them together. I also use kind of a tapping or dabbing motion on here to get some of the color to blend. But once you start and work on practicing gradients, especially this type of a color is going to be such a good one to begin with because they do blend so easily. And the glitter element of it makes it a little bit easier to blend because it doesn't have to be perfect. A cream, like a super high pigmented cream gel polish, is going to be the hardest thing to make a gradient. So don't start there, start with something like this. But then I'm going to apply matte top coat over the thumb, middle, ring, and pinky, and glossy top coat over that index gradient. I really wanted all that glitter to shine. And then after that's cured, I'm going to be applying the glossy top coat over all of that super glittery stuff. So over the feather on the thumbnail, and then over the word love. I didn't apply the glossy over my birds because I wanted them to look a little bit more of that detailed, and matte top coat just shows off details so much better. So I left them like that. I hope you guys love this as much as I do, and definitely check out that collection. Like I said, a couple of those are going to be so perfect for Christmas. So I'm really looking forward to that, and I will see you next time. Bye!